Hello everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Karina Chin with karinascreations.com and I want to thank you so much for watching me today. On Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, I usually go on to just share some products, show you how to stamp some fun cards, and just give you a general introduction into the little stamping world that I love so much. And I see so far that we have Bilkis and Sharon joining me and Amy. Hello, you guys. Thank you so much for watching me today. I'm kind of doing a sneak peek today with something called the Tasteful Touches stamp set. And it's actually called the Good Taste product bundle that you will be able to get tomorrow. So tomorrow the Stampin' Up! Annual catalog goes live, so I thought I'd show you some new projects just because it's so much fun. But before I do that, I really want to tell you about a few things that are ending. So first off, today is the last day to order from this catalog. There is a whole bunch of stuff. Look, my poor catalog's like dying. It's so marked up. There are still a lot of good items, but stamp sets that are in here will be gone forever. You won't be able to get them from Stampin' Up! Anymore unless you find them in some retired sale. So that's one thing to consider. There's also some really good sales right now going on. I just placed an order myself yesterday because I wanted to get some more of these gold foil edged cards and envelopes because they're $8. I think they're $8.10 and you get 20 of them. Aren't they pretty? And there's a whole bunch of embellishments on sale. So I just thought I would share that just so that you don't miss out. So last day to order from there. Now, if you need to order, you can go to karinachin.stampinup.net. That is my website. And if you don't use the online ordering system, you're welcome to send me a text. You can send me an email or leave me a personal message on Facebook and I will get back to you right away. Okay, the next thing I wanted to share was that starting tomorrow as well, I'm going to run a really fun class, and it's going to be in the evening on June 26th, and it's called the Peony Garden Suite class. Now, this is my favorite thing in the catalog right now. Mind you, I have a lot of favorites, but the Peony Garden Suite is beautiful. The bundle is $120 or $132.75, and if you purchase the whole bundle for me, you're going to get a card class with all the pieces cut, and we'll stamp together that night, plus you get a free Wink of Stella pen. The other option is to buy the stamp set and the dies, which is $78.25 plus tax, and you also get the class, or if you already have the product and just want the class, it's $30. So keep that in mind. I'm placing the order tomorrow for that, just because I'm afraid it's going to sell out. Just saying. The other thing I'm running is a ribbon share, which is $9.50, and that's the new in color ribbons. Now there is a problem with that because there's two colors that are already back ordered. Isn't that just crazy? To July, unless they bring in more. This is what the new in colors look like. But we have Bumblebee and Cinnamon Cider, I believe, are back ordered. So I'm still taking names down if you're interested because you get 2 yards of each color. And I put them in a little package for you, so it's a pretty good deal. And this is Magenta Madness and Misty Moonlight and Just Jade. At least I think that. Yep, Misty Moonlight. I got the colors right. Oh, I love it when we get new colors to play with. Oops, and I almost tripped coming back. Okay, now what else did I want to share with you? The paper share, I've got 2 paper shares on the go. One is 12 by 12 paper, and you get a 6-inch by 12-inch strip of paper. I'm just trying to see if I have any paper samplers left over from before. Maybe not. What I do basically is take paper, cut it in half so that you get one of each sheet. And that's $44. And then I'm also going to do the 6x6 paper shares because look at these beautiful colors. Right? And the 6x6 paper share is $18. So it just gives you a really nice sampler of all of them. Oh, I have to show you this too. I'll show you a little sneak peek. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Look at these colors. Oh my goodness, I am just so excited. And I see Kathy Mansfield's here, Connie's here, Karen's here, Joy's here. Oh, you guys, I feel so special when all my friends come to watch me do my Facebook Live. I should mention too that this Friday, I hope all of you will join me. I'm going to be running a catalog kickoff party / buy one get one free sale. Now at my catalog kickoff party, I'm going to do 2 Facebook Lives showing all new product. One is going to be Friday at 1. The other is Friday at 3. And I'm going to be running it in my Karina's Creations Facebook group. It's a closed group, but I'm hoping I'll be able to share it to this page so that you can watch it after the fact. I'm going to do a test today and make sure it'll work that way. But you'll want to check it out. And then in the evening, I am doing a buy one get one free sale on Zoom. Now my buy one get one free sale, what I'm going to do is show the items, and then you will respond if you want the item. So for example, I think this will slip under here. These are just some of the items. I've created a document, but varied vases, for example. So say if you wanted varied vases, you would respond on Zoom saying you want this, and then you get to take it home. Look, most of them are gently used, but I think this is almost brand new, pretty much. And then you get new product out of the catalog for free. You just have to pay shipping and GST on it. So that's my buy one get one free sale. And again, like I have, look at all these. Oh my goodness, all these folders. I've got them all numbered with pictures. I have punches, the new Wonders Hostess set. What else do I have in here? Painted Harvest, Capture the Good stamp set. I think I have like 200 items just on that one spreadsheet, and I still am going. I've got 3 more boxes in the garage, so I'm not sure how that'll work. So because Zoom is only 2 hours, I'm going to end the sale, and then the next day I'm just going to post everything on Facebook, and it'll be up for grabs. So I hope you can join me. And 2, I'll do make and takes. I'll do a make and take demonstration on Saturday, because whenever you place an order with me during my sale, you get make and takes when your order comes in so that you can make those make and takes at home. So that's really, really fun. Now, another thing I should mention is that if you have seen the new catalog, hopefully you have or have had a peek, and your wish list is more than $135, consider getting the starter kit, because the special starts tomorrow at noon. And what that means is that you get to choose $165 in product, plus you get a free bundle, whatever you want, whatever the cost is, as a bonus, a paper pumpkin, and you only pay $135 for that. So it's a phenomenal deal. And then when you go to place your second order, you get 20% discount. So you can get your stuff really cheap right now. So that starts tomorrow, and I can help you with it. You're welcome to call me. Oh, and I see Karen's here and Adina's here. You guys, I just love it when you watch me. I get so excited. Is that all I needed to say? No, one other thing. There's a Hostess Special starting as well. So if you have a few friends and you want to place one big group order, and it comes to $330 Canadian, Stampin' Up! Is giving you a bonus Hostess reward of $30. Now, if you have a demo number, you're already part of my team, my Crafting Crew team, and your order's getting close to 300, you might want to just get it to 330, because then you'll get a whack of free product. When you have a starter kit, you get to be your own hostess as well. So it's just so much fun. Okay, I think I'm ready to start talking about my card, because I thought I would actually teach you guys some tips and tricks with the watercolor paper today. The first thing I should mention is that I am playing with a brand new bundle, and the bundle is called In Good Taste. Now the whole bundle, if you wanted to order it, I think it is $115.50, so $115.50. Now, if you're getting a starter kit, of course, you could get that whole bundle in there, because you can spend up to $165. And the whole bundle includes this stamp set, which I love, framelit dies, In Good Taste elements, and this fun embossing folder. But my favorite part is this gorgeous designer series paper. Now, I truly think this is going to go on back order. It's 12 by 12 sheets. But to make it a little bit easier to see, I have done this for you guys. I've made little paper samplers just so you can see the pattern. So this is one side of the paper, this is the other side of the paper. Isn't that pretty? Like, look at that. It looks like a carpet. We've got canvas. We've got tiles. Look how huge this pack is. So if you're doing my paper share, you will get a 6 by 12 inch piece of each of these designs, or you can buy a whole package of paper yourself. It's $29 for a whole pack, but just beautiful. And I love the colors. It's neutrals. It goes with everything. Okay, so I thought I would mention that. Now you can just get the stamp set and the dies by itself. Those are $65.50. The folder's $12.25 and the little elements are $8.75. So you don't have to order the whole bundle. But this is the one I have been enjoying right now. And if you ever go to my blog, which is Karina's Creations, I'm on an international blog hop today. So what happened, it was yesterday and I got notification saying my project was due and I went, oh no, because I've been taking photographs for my buy one, get one free sale. So I threw this card together so quickly. And when you see the other projects from the other international demonstrators, I think I should have maybe put a little more effort into it. Not that I don't love it, but there's some pretty great projects. So make sure you go to my blog, follow the links and hop along and you will see some pretty fun stuff. So next time, I think I better step it up before I get, not that they would throw me out of the group, but you never know. Anyway, I love how this card turned out. I love the colors and I hope you will love it too. So the first thing you need to do to make this card is, the challenge was to use granite gray as a card base. Oh, you know what, guys, I forgot to do? Hold on, hold the presses. Whenever you like or share my video, it really, really helps me and it gets my name out there. And hopefully I'll find some new stamping customers as well. So to thank you, I like to put your name into a draw. And I forgot that I did this on Wheel Decide. If you stamp with me, you know what that app is. And I drew Connie's name. So Connie, or the Wheel decided Connie's name. So I'm going to send Connie clear faceted gems. And on my Friday Facebook Live, I've got 2 other brand new products giveaways for you guys. But I forgot to mention that. So I think I'm ready to start stamping. Okay, so the first thing that I did was I cut a granite gray card base, which is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And it's just scored. It's just folded in half. I use my paper trimmer and I scored it with my scoring blade. And then the very first thing I did was take the gray granite coordinating ink color, and I'm just going to stamp the top part, because I just thought it added a little bit of texture. So let's just mount this on the back of the block. The other fun thing, the reason why I did this project is I wanted a project that beginners could use that didn't use the dies. This project just uses paper, stamps, paper, ink. What do they call it? SIP, I think they call it. Stamp ink paper. There we go. And that's kind of why I really like this project. Okay, now another thing that I highly recommend is to buy a Stampin' Chamois. It comes like this, but I went and I cut mine into 4 little pieces because then one's dirty and the rest are clean. This is just how I roll, but you don't have to do that, of course. You can keep one big piece. And then when I'm done, I just take it back and put it back in the case, and then it's ready to go the next time. Okay, so I'll just set this off to the side. My little chamois. I had to buy a new chamois because mine's getting a little discolored. Okay, so that was step 1. Now I think we're just going to set this aside and I'm going to talk about watercolor. Watercolor paper, watercolor pencils. Why do you want to buy this? Well, 1, it's fun. So Stampin' Up! Actually sells two kits of watercolor pencils. When I was starting to work with this, I don't think I'm supposed to share this, you guys, today, but it's going live tomorrow, so I'm just going to talk about this. I really like the fact that watercolor pencils came in this Zany Zebras kind of bundle that's perfect for new stampers. It's $81.50 and you get the stamp set, the block, the Whisper White cardstock, the markers, the watercolor pencils, and Stampin' Dimensionals. So I thought, well, this might be really great But I have a lot of customers. It's great for new customers, that bundle, but I have a lot of customers who've stamped for a long time. I don't know if they all have fluid watercolor paper, however. So this is what I'm going to share with you today. Now, the first thing I did was go into my little bag, and I had a 2-inch strip of watercolor paper. And I'm going to color it using an aqua painter and water. So usually when I do that, in the past, I always use Black Stāzon ink. Now, I don't use Stāzon very often. It is a acid-free archival ink, and you can actually stamp on glass, ceramics, paper, that kind of thing. You just can't do fabric on it. You can see mine is really, really old and dry, so I always make sure I buy a refill. I checked, refills are not available with Stampin' Up! Right now. But because my pad is not always juicy, I am going to pull out my Stamparatus. So the Stamparatus is a stamp positioning tool. It comes with 2 plates. Now, I had a friend recently ask me, why don't I buy another brand that I will not name? And I said Stampin' Up! Has the best stamp positioning tool, I think, on the market, because you get 2 plates. It's hinged, it comes out, which will allow you to do hinged stamping. It has 2 magnets that are stored at the back. It's got a foam, which is used for photopolymer stamps, or rubber stamps. You can just stamp right on the base. If you like to practice stamp, we also sell paper that you can rip off a sheet and place on your surface, especially with Stāzon ink. I don't want to permanently stamp accidentally on my plastic surface. It may come off because I do have a Stāzon cleaner that should remove the ink, but I really didn't want to go there. Okay, so I'm just taking my watercolor paper, and I'm just going to place it in the side, and then I'm going to take my flower image, and I'm just going to put it down like this on here. Okay, and then I'm just going to push down, and then that should be attached to the plate. So instead of a block, you can actually just stamp with your Stamparatus all the time. I don't need this plate right now, so I will put it away. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is ink up my Stāzon ink. So I'll put this so it's in the frame of my video, and I'll show you. This is the problem with my Stāzon. New Stāzons may not be like this. Mine are really old though. So I always put a nice flat stamp pad underneath it, and it just holds my plate flat because, oh, I see Betty's here too. Hello, Betty. Sharon says door prize. Ooh. Gorgeous Posy. Thank you, Brenda. Okay, Brenda asked me today, when you have a demo number with Stampin' Up, you get an email called Stampin' Success. And there's this beautiful card project on it today. And Brenda called me and said, what flower is that? I had no clue. So I asked her to call demo support and ask, and it's Gorgeous Posy. Okay, I have to order that tomorrow because it is super cute. So thank you, Brenda, for that. Let's see if I'm missing anything else. Kim's here. Hello, Kim. Rhonda's watching. Hello, Rhonda. Connie says, thank you. I'll pick it up when my order comes in. That she's talking about her door prize. Yes, congratulations. And Joanne's here. Oh my gosh. All my favorite people are here, you guys. Thank you. Okay, now the first thing with Stāzon. I just want to sniff it. It smells like almonds. Oh my goodness, I love almonds. Okay, now this is what happens, and I'm pressing hard because I mounted it in the corner, and for some reason it doesn't always get the best pressure. I probably should have mounted it, you know, in here, but that's okay. Now, can you see that? I don't love that. It's not dark enough. So I'm going to go in again, and this is why I use the Stamparatus, because I can go over it 3 or 4 times to get the right amount of color. See, it's better, but I still want it a little bit darker in the center. I'll just press it a little more. And what I did last night was add a bit more ink to my ink pad. Like I said, I think it's just really dry. But there. See, that's much better. I'm happy with that. Now, instead of removing this, the actual stamp and placing it down here, I'm just going to use the hinge method. I'm just pulling it straight up, and we'll move it down. We better move it down one more. There, and then I can stamp my second flower. But you can see how if you are, sometimes you stamp it and it doesn't turn out. If you, right away, you didn't ink up the stamp properly, but if you use the Stamparatus, you could do this multiple times until you get the color that you want. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ink up this pad again. It's just too old. I would order a brand new one, but I think it's on back order right now. Uh-oh, now I moved it. That was not good. Let's see. Hopefully it's in the corner. That's why I like putting it in the corner. Oh, not quite. But you know what? For the purpose of watercoloring for my video, that'll be okay. That'll work. I'm just going to go with this for now because I can always fix it later when you guys aren't watching the video. And I know some of you are on your lunch break. So let's just get this going. Okay, I was going to use, yes, my cleaner. And you can see how it's black. It is clean. It's because it stays on. It does coat your stamps, and I'll get my Stāzon cleaner out after. I'm just going to put that right there for now. Okay, now this is where we're going to talk about watercoloring and watercolor pencils. So I'm using Watercolor Pencil Assortment 2, and I want to use Flirty Flamingo, a little bit of Cherry Cobbler, and I'm going to use the Crushed Curry. Okay. So now the first thing you can do is just lay down a little bit of color. And I really like this style of stamp because it's got shading in there so that you know what's supposed to be a darker area to color, and you can add highlights to that. I should have actually pre-done a few of these so that it was ready to go, but that's okay. You guys can just follow along. And it won't take me that long. Okay, so there's my color. Now I'm using an aqua painter. You can use a paintbrush. We've got blender pens, but because it's watercolor paper, I know it's going to be quite, it's going to hold up to water. And these pens, these aqua painters have been discontinued. There are new ones that are available June the 3rd, and it comes in 3 in a package. And they're white, so they, I think, just made them a little more modern and gave you 3 different tips. And then all I'm doing is just blending out the color. And then I'm just going to rub it off to the side here. And then I'm going to go in and do my pink. My Flirty Flamingo. Flirty Flamingo. There we go. And I thought that looked pretty good. Okay, now, can you see the darker areas in here? Now, I could just color again, or I can actually go like this, pick up the color, and then see how I'm just adding a bit more shading. And then what I would normally do after this point is walk away. Go make some cookies, make some snacks, let it dry. Or if you happen to have a heat tool, which I do, I love my heat tool. It's always ready to go. And I just take it, give it a little blow dry very quickly. And you get the idea, and then it dries it off, and then you can add another layer of color. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my Cherry Cobbler, and just, again, I'm just laying down some color just on the shaded areas. And I have to say, I don't know how to watercolor. I've never taken any courses, so hopefully I'm not leading you astray, but the Stampin' Up! Artists have put the shading in here, so all I'm doing is following it. And this is one of the reasons that I love stamping so much, because I can't draw. I can't even draw a stick person. So when I get to play with the Stampin' Up! Stuff and just use a stamp and I can color it, I love coloring. I can actually feel like I've accomplished something, makes me happy, and then I can give it to my friends. The cards to my friends, so that makes me happy as well. Okay, now I've missed this part here, so again, I'm just going to pick it up just directly from the pencil. And I'm sure there's other ways to do this. You can also scribble on a block and pick up the color from a block. So many ways to do this. But I think that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. And we're just going to do the one flower right now because I wanted to talk about Whisper White paper. I started playing while you guys were here. So my card is just going to have one flower, and then tonight I will go and make a second one. Tonight I have a class called Pedal to the Metal starting. It's going to be right after my Secret Sister meeting. So I run once a year. I do a Secret Sister where I match everybody up and they send a card to their friend, their Secret Sister, every single month. And our first meeting is tonight. And then following that, I'm going to do my Pedal to the Metal card class. So I am set up and ready to go. And of course my Pedal to Metal to the samples, I gave them out already. So I'm going to be stamping blind tonight. But it's a good thing I made PDF instructions because I can actually follow along with the PDFs. So it'll still look like I know what I'm doing. Hooray! I started doing PDFs for myself too because I forget what I make. I make so many cards. Sometimes I can't remember. Okay, let's bring this one back in so that you guys know what I'm making. So the other fun thing about this fun, beautiful stamp set is it has, it's got great sentiments. So it's got "You are the best. The good things in life are better with you. Just saying, you are so special." And it's just got some fun images that you can color. And it's neutral. It's great for girls. It's great for guys. It's great for everybody. Okay, and then all I did, I'm just making like a tone-on-tone card where it's just granite gray on granite gray. And then I'm just going to stick this onto the Whisper White. Now I guess I should tell you the measurement. This is 3 inches by 4.5 inches. And I'm mounting it on 3 1/4 by 4.75. So whenever you need to create a layering piece for your card, whatever your first piece is, you just increase the next piece by 1/4 inch on both sides. And then that way you have perfect layering pieces. You don't have to think about it. And I like working in 1/4 inches just because for me it's really easy. Okay, now the next thing I did with this is I thought we needed some ribbon. So the nice thing about Stampin' Up! Products is that Stampin' Up! Has cardstock that matches embellishments as well. So I'm using Rococo Rose, which is one of the in colors. And in color just means that it's around for 2 years. And then they discontinue it and bring in a new color. And we have some in colors that are retiring. And that's Blueberry Bushel, Pineapple Punch, Grapefruit Grove, Call Me Clover, and what did I miss? Lovely Lipstick. And I know this because I had to dig out my garage sale stuff because I'm selling the blends and I need one. I need Call Me Clover to color the inside of the truck tonight, so I had to dig through everything. Okay, and I like using Terran tape adhesive to put down my ribbon because then it doesn't move. I got a card once from somebody, super cute card, but it fell apart. Okay, I'm just going to put some more here. Probably wondering why I'm not putting it on my paper because I have adhesive on the back. So one thing, if you do silly things like that all the time, like I normally do, if I did it on here, you can actually buy these silicone mats that Stampin' Up! Sells, and then your adhesive does not stick to your paper. Because I really like using grid paper on all my projects with Stampin' Up! Whenever I stamp, it just helps keep things straight. Okay, now I also thought we needed to add a little bit here. So let's add some linen thread. Linen thread is rolling over, thank goodness. And so is this Rococo Rose trim as well. Stampin' Up! Has discontinued the white baker's twine, which is one of my favorites. I was a little bummed about that, but it's okay. I'll get over it. I know I will. And I've also hoarded 3 packages just for my own private use in my little cubby. That's why my garage sales, my BOGOs are so good, because I have a bit of a buying problem, I have to say, with Stampin' Up! Products. So if I haven't used it in a year, in the sale it goes. And like I said, I worked all weekend loading stuff into the document so that you can click on the item, see the picture you want to buy, and tell me if you want it. Took a long time. And you know what? I'm not done. I probably could use another week to put all my other things that I've got hidden in my garage. I'm like a little stamping squirrel. Is that possible? I don't know. I'm calling myself a stamping squirrel because that sounds nicer than anything else. Okay, let's put this on the Rococo Rose cardstock. Ta-da! And the Rococo Rose was 3.5 inches by 5 inches. And I think I'm just going to put 1 flower down for now because I will fix it later today. And then I should mention too, can you see how this is a little bit dark in here? If you don't like this, you can just go in and blend it out and smooth it out a little bit. That's a nice thing. Or I could add more color. So that's a nice thing about watercolor paper, and it doesn't bleed through. This stuff is really, really fun. I think it's around $12. Okay, let's just put that there, and I'm just going to tuck this here for now. And then my other flower is going to go underneath when I stamp it later. Now, I put this flat on my card base, and then I'm going to show you another trick to create the sentiment. And it gives you better value out of your sentiments, I find, when you do this. There we go. Tracy's here too. Hello, Tracy. Thank you. She says, pretty card. Thank you, Amy. You guys are so kind. Sometimes I stamp best under pressure. When I have a whole day to design, I get nothing done, but give me 15 minutes. And I don't know, it seems to work for me. Okay, now this is kind of what I was going to show you. So this sentiment says, just saying hello, which is nice, but it's too big for my card. So what I did was take a little piece of white cardstock. It's 3/4 of an inch. And I am going to pull out my handy dandy Stampin' Write marker, which I absolutely love. You can use these in the place of ink pads if you want. You got to use the side of the marker. Don't use the tip or you will damage it. And you can only get these in a package of 10, so then you would be sad. Now I do have some markers in my sale, some colors that I had duplicates of. You know, just looking. Look, I found more. Oh my goodness, where do these come from? Yeah, these will be in my sale. So if you're looking for a color, I may have it. I may not. So all I did was ink up hello, and I'm just going to put it here so I can have a bit of cutting room. Hopefully it's straight. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to snip it here. And if you have the tailored tag punch, it works really well for creating these little flags on the ends of your cardstock. If you don't, you just do what I just did. You snip in the middle, and then you go in from each side, and then you don't need the punch. But that's one of my favorite punches, so I'd probably use it anyway. Now, I thought this was kind of plain. It didn't go with my card, so I'll show you what I did. I took some ink and stamped it off. Ooh, I kind of like that. So I just inked up the tip, and then I'm just going to go around. There, I like that better. And it kind of looks like random leaves, and it just gives some texture to my card. And then again, I have to use Stampin' Dimensionals. So I've got these mini ones here that I will use. We sell mini Stampin' Dimensionals and regular Stampin' Dimensionals, and they just add a little bit to your card when you pop it up. It's such an easy thing to do, but it really does add a lot of interest. Okay, now my card is done. Now you can see that these were a little bit darker. I probably need to re-ink my Stāzon pad. Now the one thing I wanted to talk about too was when I looked at this brand new brochure, it's got Whisper White cardstock and the watercolor papers. And I thought, can you really use Whisper White paper? And they also have Memento black ink. So this was my challenge. can you just use Whisper White paper, stamp on it, and get it to work with without having to buy an aqua painter? So that's what I thought I would show you. And yes, you can. So let's just use this little flower because I don't have Zany Zebras yet. It's on my list to buy tomorrow, and then I'm going to be placing all my BOGO sale orders on Sunday. So if there's anything you have to have, you can place it tomorrow and I will give you some BOGO stuff. But otherwise, most of my orders will be done on Sunday at 4 it closes. Let's see, do we want to use these colors again, or should we use, I think I use this one. This is so pretty, Coastal Cabana. Okay, and then regular Whisper White cardstock. Now our Whisper White cardstock is special, it's smooth. There's nothing that you are going to find in Michael's or any of those big name stores that will match it. It's hard to describe how smooth it is. It's like a baby's bum. Very nice, very nice. Okay, and I'm kind of scribbling a little bit just because I wanted to show you. So, oh yeah, so I guess what I was saying was if you didn't want a watercolor, you could just do that and it still looks nice, right? Because that's what they did in one of these pictures. They just scribbled over the words that they stamped. However, what happens when you add water? Now, when I say add water, gently add water. Don't put a whole pool of water. But you know what? I have to say it works. Not too bad. If I was a brand new stamper and I had an old paintbrush laying around, you could actually color with this and smooth out the lines. You know, it's not bad. And then what they also did to create these little dots was they just took a color. Let's do some, what color is this? Pacific Point? Night of Navy. Ooh. And they did kind of polka dots on their card. And again, I always like to clean it. You don't have to have a little thing of water. You actually open it up and you put water in this chamber and squeeze it. It's just, I'm in my craft room and I don't want to make a big mess. So just in case. And then there you go. That's kind of fun. So you can do a whole bunch of different designs. So this one was Flirty Flamingo. This one was Night of Navy. Yes, you can color with Memento ink and watercolor pencils. However, with Whisper White cardstock, however, I also tried it with the watercolor paper and look what happened. So I stamped the leaves. This one here is with this is with Stāzon ink. This one is with Memento, and it did bleed a little bit. Oop, who's calling me? That's no good. I'm always so careful to not have that in my room. Oh good, someone answered it. Hooray! Okay, so like I was saying, if you use Memento black ink and you stamp it on here and then you try to watercolor it, it will bleed a little bit. But this was Stāzon. But if you use it on Whisper White cardstock, no problems. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. Oh, Tara's here too. Giselle's here. Oh my gosh, you guys, everybody's here. Thank you so much for watching me today. Adina says, how do the watercolor pencils compare to the blender pens? You know, the blender pens, I'll just answer this quickly because blender pens look like this. Okay, these ones are old. I always keep my old blender pens. And I mark them old because I use them for everything. Okay, this one looks fairly new. Did you notice how many sets I have? Blender pens look like this. So see, there's no color. They're totally clear. There's some kind of liquid in here. And you can color with these. So if we color this flower, you can take a blender pen if you don't have an ink pad. I think I would just use a paintbrush though, personally. And see, and it does allow you to pull some color off and you can still color with them. And then to clear it, you have to just go gently to the side until the ink runs clear and then you can pick up another color. But what blender pens are used for is a lot of our new ink pads. You got to squeeze these ones. When you squeeze them, it leaves a pool of ink at the top. Some people, what they do is buy blender pens and an ink pad, and then you can color with it. That's the beauty of it. So the difference between watercolor pencils and and blender pens is that if you own all the ink pads and you're trying to save on money, you can just buy your blender pens and they work with your ink pads really well. If you don't have very many ink pads and you want some colors, I think these are only $20, so this would be more cost effective because one ink pad's $10. So this saves you a lot of money. If you're a brand new stamper, you can get, what is there, 12 colors, 10 colors in here? I think there's 12. And you can just use a paintbrush at home and get lots of color for coloring. So this is a little more cost effective, but this also works as well. And you get 3 blender pens in a package, and eventually when the ink kind of quits working, I always keep these and I paint with them, and I use them with shimmer paint and a whole bunch of different things. So I think, oh, Tara says she loves her watercolor pencils. And she usually uses her blender pens. Okay, sounds good. They're cost effective. Thank you, Tara, for that great tip. Yeah, I don't color all the time, so that is really good to know. Now, I don't know if she's talking about, oh, blender pens. Okay. You know what? I think she also was talking about these babies. These are the Stampin' Right blendability markers, right? They're totally different thing because these are an alcohol marker and they have 2 tips, right? There is the bullet tip and then there is the brush tip. So they're not, you wouldn't use these on watercolor paper. Oh, this is a brand new one. It's tight. Never used this one before, but it also colors. So let's color this. But it's not comparable at all. Right, because it's an alcohol marker and it bleeds through. And this has to be used with Memento. You cannot use this with Stāzon or you will pull the color out of it. So I guess it's totally different again because 2 pens are $12, right? You get 12 of these for $20. So this is cost effective for new stampers. If you're more an advanced stamper and you want lots of colors and you start collecting, you'd probably want the alcohol markers, the Stampin' blends, or you can just use ink pads and a blender pen. So there's basically 3 different coloring options that you can do, but I wouldn't be using my blender pens or my Stampin' Up! Blendabilities with watercolor paper. I would only use these. I would only use watercolor pencils, blender pens, or possibly ink pads and my aqua painter if you're using watercolor paper. So I think I've answered that. There we go. Yeah, Joy says she loves her pencil crayons. Honestly, I don't pull these out very often. I forget about them, but I have to say, I had a lot of fun coloring with them. So I think I'm just going to start using them again. Anyway, I hope you guys will come to my buy one, get one free sale / Caddy kickoff party this Friday and Saturday. I hope you will find some fun items that you can use with your stamping supplies. If you need to place an emergency order today, you can go to karinachin.stampinup.net. Please like or share my video. It really does help me when you guys share with your friends. And I will do a draw on Friday for a couple more names for door prizes. And I think that's about it today. And if you need information about my classes, you can get on my newsletter. You can send me a personal message and I'll just answer you back and add you to my Stampin' Up! Newsletter that I send out usually weekly, 2 times a month. Depends what's going on. Anyway, thank you so much for watching me and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.